stop coming in, coming in. Put up in a drop top, she dropped it. I put up in a drop top, she dropped it. My diamonds dancing high skies, they hold this. My diamonds dancing high skies, they hold this. Yeah, hold up. I don't know what planet I'm on. I'm a king, little bitch, watch the throne. Feel like bottom, I'll top off your heart. Yeah, steady, cause it heavy. Yeah, bitch, I'm ballin' hard just like a maverick. Money stretch long, little bitch like elastic. Now that bitch steady, calling me Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, hey, no, I keep a ratchet. If you claim, boy, I turn your ass to ashes. Automatic, doom, 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 bill, bitch, I'm blasting. Yeah, put you in a casket. Money sits long, it's elastic. I don't know what planet I'm on. I'm a king, little bitch, watch the throne. I feel like Votto, I'll top off your heart. Yeah, hold up, take a moment, count my guap, count my guap. All these racks bumming in, they bumming in. Hold up. Hey, count my guap, count my guap. Can I stop coming in, coming in? Put up in a drop top, she dropped it. I put up in a drop top, she dropped it. My diamonds dancing high skies, they hold this. My diamonds dancing high skies, they hold this. Yeah.
Astral worlds, my planet, my home. Clouds too high, the fumes too strong. Mix this cup for way too long. Add it up, don't subtract it. Yeah. Pour this safe with me and let's get blasted. Straight up, Lambo drop like a dragon. Can't fall asleep at night cause they attacking. Yeah, I hop in the coupe, go insane. I disappear, go David Blaine. We don't live the same. I feed all my bitches to
Today, we're going to talk about the college football playoffs, college basketball winners for tonight, and NFL and college football winners for the weekends. This is Behind the Lines. Cooper Kupp might be washed. 4 targets, no catches. The guy ran a half a marathon. I've seen 20 tweets about it this morning. The guy didn't do a single thing.
Yeah, that was a frustrating bagel for a lot of fantasy owners.
Is this what we've become down in Blacksburg? Just complacent, happy to be going about our day and being a moose shit program, celebrating a kid getting 1 point against North Carolina A&T. He better fucking score a point. You're playing North Carolina A&T. He's leading college football, Jovan, in every single statistical category for a wide receiver. Every single one. And you don't give that guy the award? Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. At the end of the day, you got to reward teams for winning fucking games. And if they're in a power conference, they're in a power conference. I'm tired of this big dick swinging contest between the SEC, Big 12, Big 10, and ACC. At the end of the day, you got to fucking reward winning. What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Friday, the best BTL of the week, episode 607 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your host, Krabs. No Jovan today. We got a travel day for Jovan, but we do have reinforcements inbound. Okay, we got Rav coming in for college football, and we got Trent coming in for NFL. Okay, so stick with us. Action-packed BTL for today. Plenty to go over. Winners for tonight. I'm talking college football. I'm talking college basketball. And then we're going to get into some plays for the weekends as well, going over the NFL and college football previews. Okay, and of course, why don't we go ahead and segue into the squad ride recap. You guys know we're going to cash another squad ride tonight, so that's the goal. And we got a hype train moving and grooving. Love to see it. How about these NBA overs? How about them? Chat, if you have not been tailing these squad rides, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you're here. The squad rides have been really fucking good recently. Knock on wood, so I don't jinx it. 7-0-1 in the last 8 squad rides. We have not had a losing squad ride in 8 squad rides. Let's make it 9 tonight. Plain and simple. Okay, I got some plays that I'm loving. We'll talk about them in a minute. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the sharp reports from yesterday. We'll go ahead and recap that puppy. Wow. Bang. Sure we can. Sam Houston, it was always the narrative. It was their year, the Bearcats. Unbelievable performance. One of the biggest overperformers in college football. Cannot believe I'm saying this. Shout out Brad Cornelson. Wow. That did not feel right. Fuck that guy. But he cashed last night. Good for him to get a win. First time head coaching. Sam Houston coming through. Utah Tech. I mean, people don't even know what that school is or what that mascot was or what that logo was. Doesn't matter. Cashed one outright. The Knicks. A blowout. That game was over about 10 minutes in. The only thing we lost yesterday was Hunter Watson on his rushing yards, and he made up for that with aura, with heart, and coming through for the Bearcats, covering that spread and winning outright. Okay? 2 words, chat, heart. All right, we got some subbies coming in. Big Bubs resubbing. What a great weekend to have ourselves a weekend. Yes, sir, Big Bubs. Could not have said it any better myself. We got Crutch Bets coming in, resubbing as well. Love to see it. Hope you guys tailed that Spurs over. Squad rides. Look, you guys have been clicking the right buttons for the last week, week and a half. Let's stay sharp. Let's keep clicking the right buttons, and let's not get fat, happy, and complacent. Okay, that's all I ask. No fat, happy, and complacency. Not around these parts. Okay? Let's go ahead and hop into some winners for today. Before we do and get to the sharp reports, and I give you guys my favorite prize pick squares, favorite straight bets for tonight, make sure you guys check out the coin toss. If you have not checked out the coin toss yet, please make sure you give that a watch tonight, this afternoon, tomorrow, before the game's on Saturday. Check out the coin toss. Live on the YouTube right now as we speak. The link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. Okay? What's up, Chew? How we doing? Krabs, can we talk about Peyton Pritchard costing us a 4-man? I'd rather not. But yes, him hitting 4 threes last night cost us a 4-man. We also lost a 4-man, I believe, in college football by 1 leg. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm going to go to my past lineups here. And I don't think it was just Peyton Pritchard who cost us a 10Xer. It was also Hunter Watson rushing yards. It cost us a 10Xer with Julius Randle, Steven Stamkos, and Gus Edwards on the Sharp Report 4-man. So that sucks. Okay, but we have hit a Sharp Report 4-man this week. Let's see if we can craft up some winners on prize picks this afternoon. Plain and simple. Okay. What else, chat, before we get to the Sharp Report plays? No Jovan today, Papa Smokes. He's traveling back home for Christmas. Okay, good. Jovan, safe travels, my man. Let me know how the flight goes. Okay. And yes, people do forget. Trent said he'd chop off his meat if the Celtics lost, and they lost. So happy to address that when he comes on to talk about NFL. But first, let's talk about some winners for today and go over the Sharp Report. Okay. First play of the day. We'll start with some CBB here. It's been a while since we've gotten it back to Peacocks. We're betting them at home. One of the best teams at home in college basketball over the last, half a decade. To be honest with you, this team is an absolute wagon. Coming off of 2 losses, they're catching some steam at home. I thought that was kind of weird. I want to play them against Delaware, a team I think is extremely overrated and overvalued. And I think we kind of learned that when they lost to Duquesne, who's a shell of themselves at this point, by 14 points in their last game. I think Delaware is completely overvalued in the betting markets, and that's why we're seeing St. Peter's, the Peacocks, are one of the best teams at home in college basketball history, catching some steam here in this spot, coming off of 2 losses to Manhattan and Iona. They should not have lost both those games. They did. I think at home, they hit the reset button, and they get a big-time win at home against Delaware tonight. I'm laying the spread. I got -2. I still like -2.5. Okay? Next play up. Somebody called Mikey Overs. Let him know that we're taking Providence today. Maybe it's fake sharp. I'm willing to pay to find out. I'm playing Providence at home, getting that many points. Feels off, right? Seeing Providence get more than a handful of points in any game really at home. But they're playing one of the best teams in the country. So that kind of cancels out that fat line at home. And if there's one thing I know about college basketball, it's that Providence, sorry, dudes, I couldn't hear what you were saying there, but it's that Providence covers at home at the dunk. Okay, they're getting it done again tonight against St. John's, who comes in playing some really good basketball, winners of their last 4 in a row. They've covered 3 games in a row as big favorites in all those games. I think they get caught a little fat, happy, and complacent against the Providence team that just lost to St. Bonaventure in their last game. So I'm locking in Providence. I'm backing Mikey Over's Friars tonight on the hardwoods. Okay, and then the Hoosiers. Yep, Twitter POD. I will co-sign it. I will be at the lead of that line. If it's a Twitter POD, that's okay. I've been on this all fucking week. I'm not changing my ways right now. Give me Indiana. Give me the touchdown. We might fucking need it. Sure, Notre Dame's probably going to win this game outright, but I will take the Hoosiers on the road in South Bend. A little in-state rivalry here. I think they got too much heart. I'll tell you right now. and I've seen this movie before, Curtis Rourke. This kid makes plays when need be. And it might be in the chilly cold out there. It might be snowing, but Gootsy, he's making a couple throws to keep this game within the number.
No, little bro ain't doing shit. Little bro's going to lay down and die like a sad puppy dog.
Goots, do you think the weather is going to benefit or hurt the Irish tonight if there's some snow?
I was telling Nick earlier, I was like, it's an interstate rivalry. Like, they're in the same state. They both understand the weather. They both know what's going on. So there really doesn't side to either team. So no, I'm not really buying into the weather narrative whatsoever. It is what it is. We'll see what team performs the best in that weather.
All right. We will see. We will see. I wouldn't be surprised if they feed Jeremiah Love and he absolutely grubs, like Jovan's been talking about pretty much all week. I'm going to be taking his prize pick squares. But I do think Indiana and the Hoosiers keep this one within a tutty. Favorite play of the night. Okay?
We'll
see how it goes. We'll be seeing. Yes, sir, Goots. Hey, somebody's winning tonight. Okay, somebody's winning tonight. Prize pick squares. Let's take a quick peep at these puppies. My favorite squares of the night. We'll take a look at them. All right, we'll flash those puppies for you guys. 2 prize pick squares that I already locked in a 2-man. I'm taking Ty Thompson, and this is a demon square for Tulane. And guys, I am going to take Tulane on the spread as well this afternoon. Did not make the sharp report, but honorable mention. I do like Tulane coming up here in about 2.5 hours. Early afternoon football. Love to see it. Give me the green wave and give me Ty Thompson. They don't have their starting QB, Mensa, who entered the portal. He's transferring somewhere. He's a stud. But this offense is still very good, and you guys know I'm a John Summerall guy. Right? The Troy coach comes over there. He turns around the program. I had them going to the college football playoffs. Out of the mid-majors in college football, I thought it would be them. They kind of fell off a little bit at the end of the season. Back-to-back losses to end the season. Florida enters this bowl game on absolute fuego. Winners of their last 3, playing some really good football, right? Once they made that QB change. I think Tulane keeps it close, and I think Ty Thompson gets a rushing touchdown in this game. He's going to be playing QB. He transferred from Oregon, I believe. And he has a little bit of experience this season. They have used him in the red zone at times, and he's been a rushing threat. So they'll use him on the goal line at times. They'll use him in the red zone at times, and he will be a threat using his legs. And he's had a couple rushing touchdowns so far this season. I think he gets another one tonight. He's going to be the QB for the full game in this one, and I think he utilizes his legs. I thought about taking that rushing yard square, but instead I'll take the demon price at what I think is the same possibility to occur, and that's him scoring a rushing touchdown using his feet and finding payday. Plain and simple. Ty Thompson, demon price, he's scoring a rushing touchdown. Okay? And then, yes, I am fading Shaquille O'Neal's son. Let's just go ahead and get right to it. It is what it is. I'm not happy about it, but I'm fading Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, he plays on Florida A&M. He's got a tough matchup tonight against BYU that has a sneaky good defense. BYU is a very slow team. They're a turtle out there on offense. Florida A&M is the opposite. They like to run. I think BYU, looking at the spreads and the total, to be honest with you, I think BYU completely takes Florida A&M out of sync, a team that's covered every game their last month. And I think they absolutely blow the doors off of them. We saw BYU's defense shine in their last game. They held their opponents to less than 50 points. I think they show up again, and I'm taking Shaquille O'Neal's less than 9.5 PRA. Yes, that is Shaq's son, and it's one of the most popular squares on Prize Picks in CBB today. Has to be done. Has to be done. Did not have fading Shaq's kids on my bingo card for the sharp report for Friday with Indiana Notre Dame going on, and then these games going on this weekend. But look, you play the cards you're dealt. Okay, and we're fading Shaq's son tonight. It is what it is. All right. Let's go ahead and get Ravington on this puppy. I would love to talk about these college football games today. And let's go ahead and get him on here and see if he's got any action on this Ohio game. It's already gotten started right now. Let's go ahead and bring Rav on this puppy. How we doing, my man?
What up, Krabs? How are we?
Are we getting nice today?
We're gonna try to get nice today. It's been a week since I hit the get nice, and I'm fucking fiending for it.
Okay. Are you gonna lock one in tonight?
I am, yeah. I'm gonna have a bunch of straights today too. I feel like today's gonna be a good day.
Yeah. Hey, look, you can't hit if you don't play, right? You can't hit if you don't bet. You might as well fire off and get nice and see what happens. Okay. You got any action in this Ohio game?
I did think about touching up Ohio, but I did not. I did not get to the table with it. I've been editing videos all morning.
Okay. Good man. Yeah, I didn't play anything in this game, but Ohio out to a 14-7 lead early on. Looks like a pretty exciting game, and they're driving as well right now. So, chat, let me know if you guys are tailing anything in the Ohio-Jacksonville State game, or if you have any bets so we know what to root for.
I do love Tulane, though.
Yeah, so do I. I'm going to take them today as well. Let's talk about that game and let's click on the splits. Take a peep at what people are betting on. Spread a little bit more popular than I would have expected on Pickett's. And this spread's been bouncing around a ton this week, Rav. We've seen Tulane up to, 13 and a half earlier on this week. Now we're seeing them down to 10 and a half, 9 and a half some places right now as well. I think Tulane coming in off of 2 losses. We know they're going to play hard under Coach Summerall, one of my favorite coaches in college football. I'll take Tulane getting 10-ish points against the Florida team who enters this game playing very well. Lagways looked really sharp. But I think they could be caught a little fat, happy, complacent against the Green Wave.
Yeah,
What's
I
they
agree.
get up to against Tulane, right?
Yeah, and I mean Ty Thompson's no slouch at all. He could be great. I still think he could be a great quarterback. He transferred from Oregon. I do think they can cover 10.5.
Okay.
It's a great game.
On that myself.
I'm excited to watch.
That's going to be a really good afternoon game. I'm excited to get into that one as well. 3:30 p.m. Eastern, only 2.5 hours, chat. So if you're looking for a winner, might have to be on the Tulane Green Wave. And Jovan, I apologize. I know you got tonsils to Florida, and deservedly so. They play great so far. They've covered damn near every time you've taken them. Tonight, though, I think it's the Green Wave, and I'll back Summerall and Co. with the backup QB. Okay? You like any prize pick squares in this game?
I have barely looked. I was editing videos all morning. I've barely looked at any of the slate today, for being real. I need to get in the lab, though.
Yeah, we could take a peep if we have time at the end. I'm looking through some chats right now. Boots on ground for the Florida game. Let's go, Billy. The kids? Sure we can. Christian Walker going to the Astros. Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. That would suck. And again, shout out Nolan Arenado for shutting that trade down, right? Oh, it's official.
Where'd he go?
60 mil for Walker. How many years? Do we know? That's okay. All right. Looks like Christian Walker is going to Houston. That sucks.
Damn.
Gosh.
Houston?
Nobody ever wants anybody to go to Houston. Everybody hates that team collectively. It's hilarious. I mean, as they should. Fuck those cheaters.
The Astros, right? Man.
Fuck the Astros. All right. Let's reel it back in here. I want to take a peep at the Indiana game for tonight, Rav. I want your thoughts. You got Indiana in the chilly cold. You think they got a chance, or you think the Irish roll?
I do think they can keep it close. I do like Notre Dame in the spread. I know you like Indiana. I like the over a lot too, which definitely correlates towards Indiana more. I just feel like Notre Dame, I feel like it's going to turn into what happened with Ohio State towards the end of the game, where Ohio State just pulled away. They started to dominate with better players, better talent, better coaching. I can't get to the table with Indiana, but the over is really high. And that definitely tells me that they can stay in the game for most of the game and maybe even cover the number.
Yeah, the total finally starting to drop now, probably because of snow, right? The Mike Golick video going viral this morning. Total finally dropping the day of. I thought it was pretty weird seeing that total trickle up to 51.5, 52.
I was shocked
over the last couple of days, right?
Yeah.
I did think that was weird. I'll give you that. But seeing the total trickle down now on game day, I do think the under is probably the play here, and I'm sure snow is involved. So if there's one thing I know about Notre Dame, it's that when the lights are bright, I wouldn't be shocked if they come out a little slow in this contest. But I also wouldn't be shocked if Indiana as well comes out a little slow early on offensively, and we see these teams kind of feel each other out early, not many points, and then we see the offenses pick it up late. Obviously, Notre Dame going to feed Jeremiah Love. I think Indiana is going to feed 2 of their stud running backs. We'll see how it goes against that Notre Dame D-line. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to Curtis Rourke making a couple big throws in the snow. And if he can't, this game could get ugly. But this kid, I've had my eyes on him since he was at Ohio years ago, Rav. He's a stud. He makes the right throws more often than not. And even if the lights are bright, I trust him with my coins to keep it within a touchdown. And love seeing the spread moving to 6.5 as well, right?
Yeah, I like him too. 2-time MAC Player of the Year, right? He won at least once. Yeah.
And Sam Wiglutz were cooking at Ohio a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think they feed Justice Ellison too. I saw you like that square earlier this morning. I think that Cignetti sees the kind of, I wouldn't say flaws, but some of the holes that the Notre Dame the run defense has had against some good running teams in the regular season. You think of Army and Navy, even though Notre Dame handled both those teams. Navy was in the game against Notre Dame, and they were running the ball well. If it wasn't for some really horrible turnovers, that game would have been much closer. I think they can run the ball, get some points on the board, and keep it close. But I do think Notre Dame pulls it in at the end. But we'll see.
All right.
It'll be a great game.
Yep. all eyes on this game tonight. It should be epic. First game of the college football playoffs. I just got a weird feeling it's going to go under, and we're going to see Indiana keep this one within a handful of points.
Probably.
See how it plays out. It's certainly the Twitter POD. So I'll give chat that. It's a very popular play from all the sharps all over the land. Okay, and even looking at the betting splits, definitely some more action on Indiana spread than I'd want to see. And maybe that's why we're seeing the spread trickle down to 6.5 today, right?
Yeah, I think they're getting a ton of action on Indiana 7.5 and 7.
I know this is kind of a square play for me. I'm not going to lie. We'll see how it plays out.
You're
right,
back.
we got Big Cheesy coming in, dropping 5 subbies, Rav. How about that?
Let's fucking go. Big
Cheesy. Big Cheesy showing up and the lights are bright. Let's go, Big Cheesy.
Shout out.
Boy. All right. We got Jovan in chat. W's. Jovan, safe travels today, my man. Let me know how the flight goes.
Martians.
Yeah, fix those damn Martians. And then we're going to hop in and talk about the college football preview in a moment. Once Rab fixes these damn Martians. While he does, I want to go ahead and remind you guys not only to check out the coin toss today, but also check out the pod that me and Jovan put out, the BTL exclusive going over the college football playoffs on Spotify, Apple Music, on YouTube. If you want to see our beautiful faces, okay, drop a like. Let me know in the comments, who is your natty champ? Who's winning the whole shebang? Let me know in the comments on that YouTube video for the BTL exclusive college football playoff pod.
Good.
Let me know. All right. We can now transition over, W. Gootsy, to the college football weekend preview. Rav, let's lock in. Let's get nice.
Let's run
some
that
might
shit.
say. Let's run that shit, Gootsy. What do you say? Rav, let's go ahead and get the snooze fest out of the way. The unders that we like this weekend in college football. And chat, let me go ahead and remind you, I wouldn't say these plays are forced, but it's definitely a smaller slate than typical when we're crafting up a college football weekend preview. So we will emphasize which plays we like a ton, which plays we're going to be locking in as well. And if some plays are leans, Rav, we can let the people know there too. But a couple unders to get this party started. And again, TBD if I'm going to play this. The more that it drops, the more that I like it. But you guys know my rule of 2 bets in one game. That typically doesn't work out very well. And I'm already involved and invested in the Hoosiers. Okay. So I might not play this under, but I do like it. And I like it more and more as the day goes on and that total keeps dropping. But I've already seen it. Both teams getting out to slow starts, a couple punts early on in the snow. And in the second half, you see both teams pick it up a little bit. I thought about the first half under. That's probably a pretty good look as well. But I wouldn't be shocked if it takes both offenses a couple series to get moving and grooving. Sure, the Irish are going to feed Jeremiah Love. That might work right off the rip. But the Hoosiers' rush defense, they might not be as elite as they show in the stats, but they're still pretty solid. And I do think they're at least going to show up and stunt Notre Dame and the Irish drives at times early on in this contest. And then Notre Dame, probably towards the end, they start to rely a little bit more on Riley Leonard's legs. He gets going in the second half and probably carries them to a win and maybe even a comeback. But Indiana to score first, I feel like, is a pretty good look. But that might not come until later on in the first quarter or second quarter because I'm not seeing a lot of points early on. And I do think this game ends up going under.
Yeah, I mean, one thing they did do really well against Michigan and Ohio State, 2 defenses that are the most comparable to Notre Dame, is their scripted plays in the first quarter were incredible. So, yeah, that would be a great bet, too. Indiana to score first.
Maybe Cignetti comes out and leaves his mark on the college football playoffs. Maybe they don't win, but they come out, they get a lead, and the Irish creep back into it and pull away late. I could so see it.
Yeah.
What do you like about the under? First half, a little cheeky in Tennessee, Ohio State. Okay.
The more that I think about this first half under, the more I love it. Obviously, you know about both these defenses. The full game under, I would say, is a good look too. Tennessee defensive line has been incredible. After Ohio State stinking against Michigan, it's hard to trust Will Howard and just a lot of that offense, especially early on. I love the first half angle because of Nico going into a rough, cold environment in his first ever big game. College football playoff game. I think everyone's going to be a little nervous, a little shaky. I don't see 24 points in the first half. This is becoming one of my favorite plays of the weekend.
Love it. I think the under in this game is a good look. I don't know if it's square. A lot of trends do support the under in this game, but I do think football brain wise, Ohio State's defense shows up and wins them this game.
Yeah.
And the prize picks board to me doesn't indicate a ton of points in this contest. So get in, get out. So maybe we get some nerves in the late night game under the lights as well. Tennessee, Ohio State, two teams that notoriously don't really show up, kind of like Notre Dame, like I was talking about earlier. Wouldn't be shocked if it takes those offenses a couple drives to get going as well. Love the first half under there. Good play.
I love it.
Let's move on to some overs, chat. Let's talk about some more fun plays. Somebody call Mike up to tail these pups. And yeah, Rav, as much as I love that first half under, I wouldn't be shocked if we see this game end up going over. Although, did I put the wrong fucking logos on here? That's supposed to be Clemson, Texas. Clemson, Texas. That was throwing me off there a second. Clemson, Texas, over 50.5. Apologies there, chat. That's on me. Clemson, Texas, over. I feel like this looks like the easiest under on the boards. Nobody believes in Clemson. Nobody thinks that Cade Klubnik and co. is going to show up and put up some points against this really good Texas defense. Don't get me wrong, they are good. This is one of the better Texas defenses I've seen in my lifetime. And I think Texas does end up winning this game, and I would lean their side on the spread as well. But I think this game is going to be really good. I think it's going to be a shootout. The prize picks board indicates points to me. I think Quinn Ewers shows up after an atrocious game in his last one when he was banged up, did not play well at all. I think he shows up. His fantasy score is high as heck. I'm seeing some points put up from Texas, probably later on from the Longhorns as opposed to earlier on from Clemson. I wouldn't be surprised if Clemson gets out to an early lead and we see Cade Klubnik and Dabo drive down the field early on and punch it in the end zone first. But Texas will take over this game. They'll end up covering and pulling away late. But I'm loving points. I'm loving the over in this one because I think Clemson and Cade Klubnik will put up some points early, and then you'll see Texas close the door. And looking at that Quinn Ewers fantasy score, my goodness, it's very high. Who the heck wants to back Quinn Ewers after how he looked in that last game? If anything, people want to see Manning back there under center instead of him. So I think we're going to get points in this game. I think Texas's offense shows up even without guys like Isaiah Bonds. They get it done. They probably establish the run early on. It probably doesn't work. And then they, lean more a little bit on Quinn as the game goes on, and they end up pulling away there. And Cade Klubnik's going to keep up as well. I wouldn't be shocked if we see Cade Klubnik throw a pick as well in this game. Let's hope it's on his own side of the field so that Texas gets really good field position. But I see points in this one. One of my favorite plays of the weekends. I will be on this.
I'm very torn on how I think this game is going to go. I honestly at first thought it would be low scoring, but I could totally see the angle where it starts to pick up pace. Everyone thinks that the Clemson defense is still this really good unit, and when in reality, they've been pretty bad. I mean, their pass defense is ranked 70th in the country. I can't even find where the rush defense is ranked because it's so low. So I think that I could see points from Texas, especially after Ewers has looked like a shell of what he can be basically this whole year. I mean, outside of the really shitty games, he's not looked like the top prospect of all time that he was supposed to be.
Yep.
And, the calls for Arch too. Maybe he does just put this team on his back and carries them.
I think he does. Mainly in the second half. If you're going to get Q with an under in this game, it's got to be early. But I do think Clemson first half is a solid look on the spreads. Wouldn't be surprised if they score first. That could be a cheeky way to back the dog here. But Texas offense carries late and brings this total soaring. I think it's going to be more like 60.5 is where this total should be. And we're going to see both teams putting up more than 25 points.
I like that.
With ease.
I'm hoping that for my school's sake, Clemson can somehow win, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I don't blame you, right? You'd obviously rather face them, but we'll see how it goes. And chat, real quick, I apologize again. I put the wrong team on the Sharp Report preview here, or the weekend preview. It's supposed to be Clemson and Texas over 50.5. Okay, Clemson and Texas over. My bad, dudes. All right, let's go ahead and move. Rav, you like points in Indiana, Notre Dame. I can't say I agree, but I want to hear why.
This was a lean. Points? I honestly liked all of the unders in the college football playoff first round. Out of all of the overs that I wanted to put in, this was the one where I could see points the most. Again, I thought that it was really odd that the total was this high for a really cold, snowy game. It told me that despite all of the advantages that Notre Dame has over Indiana in terms of talent, coaching, etc., just an overall better team on paper, I think Indiana does keep up in the game. Curtis can throw the ball. Justice Ellison is going to be able to run the rock, and he's probably going to have a great game. And I think Notre Dame can control the ball on the ground, run pretty well. I could see them getting up to 30, 35 points. And I think they end up covering, but I do think this goes over 52. It's a lean, though. I mean, obviously, as you can tell, I'm not too confident in it, but that is my Mikey over.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. If you're liking unders in the college football playoffs, I mean, that's music to my ears overall. But if we got to get an over on the board here, yeah, I'm not loving that play, but we'll see how it goes.
I do like the Clemson Texas angle, though. I might have to play that.
I'm liking points, man. I'm telling you right now, that might end up being the best game of the weekends. And people think it's just going to be a blowout for Texas. I do think Texas covers, but I could see a 40 Burke from the Longhorns in this one. Maybe we get like 27-40.
Yeah.
Or something crazy like that. They cover barely late, probably with a touchdown with the last couple minutes, and the game soars out. That's what I'm saying.
Like it.
Okay. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk about the next category, the next wave of plays, which I believe are blowouts or favorites that we're liking. And I'm going with Ohio State. OHIO. They're my natty champ. Okay, spoiler. They get it done. I already locked them in at plus 450 to win the whole shebang, and I do think they cover this game. Now, is this a lean? It is right now. I have the ML locked in with Edmonton from last night on a sneak two-piece parlay, but I did put that one out on the Pickett. So if you tailed that, we're in business, and you can sweat out the ML. But I do like Ohio State to cover this game, and I think them laying a touchdown against the most public team in the college football playoffs, Tennessee, the public darling, who just keeps on winning games, and they probably shouldn't be, and I think they're extremely overrated. I think this is when Ohio State, coming off that loss, asserts their dominance, and their defense shows up in this game, and Nico's out there looking like Sam Darnold on the Jets seeing ghosts. That's what I'm expecting in this game on Saturday. Under the lights up there in Ohio, I think the Buckeyes roll. Maybe this isn't an absolute, maybe this isn't an over or a game where we see a ton of points. I think Ohio State's defense stands on business here, the most expensive defense in college football. They show up, and they stunt Nico in this Tennessee offense. They probably won't feed Dylan Sampson as much as they should in this game. Nico's kind of a me guy. I think he tries to grub a little bit too much, take over, and that probably costs them a cover in this game.
Yeah, Ohio State is also my national champion. That was my pick from the beginning of the year, and I'm sticking with it.
Good. You, me, and Trent. That should be a good look.
Yeah, fuck. I do have Ohio State later on, though. So I completely agree with this. I think they can definitely blow them out of the water.
Okay.
And somehow
like the Irish tonight.
Somehow Tennessee is the most public play of the weekend.
I mean, yeah, it's an auto fade. Legally obligated to take the opposite side there.
Yeah, when Javon told me that, I was shocked.
Has to be done. All right, tell me about the Irish.
Do you like Notre Dame? I've touched on it a lot already. At the end of the day, I think it turns into an Ohio State or Michigan game where they just start to get dominated, better players. Riley Leonard, I think, makes a case for being one of the more impactful transfers of the year. I think he's been very good, very slept on, just because Notre Dame's had a really easy path. I do think that they can cover the number against Indiana, but it's going to be a great game. This is also a lean.
Good. Keep it that way. You don't need coins on that shit. That's keg. Love the Irish. And look, I do think they pull out the win. I know I picked Indiana in my bracket, but I had to pick some sort of dog to advance in some sort of chaos. I wouldn't be shocked if the Irish pull this one out, but Indiana strikes first. Okay, it's going to be a slow burn early on. Notre Dame catches fire late. They pull away. They rely on Riley Leonard late. And maybe they find a way to cover this game, but I'm just not seeing it, man. I think it's all Hoosiers. We'll see.
We're going to Berg multiple places now.
We're going to Berg a couple times, and that's okay. We're not going to agree on everything. All right, we'll go ahead and move and groove, and we'll talk about some upsets. Let's talk about some dogs we think are barking either tonight or this weekend. And I did have to go with Tulane. I play this afternoon, guys, so make sure you lock this one in. If you're looking for some afternoon action, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We got Tulane against Florida, and I'm taking the points. We probably will need them here. I'll back the Green Wave, like I talked about earlier, and I'll back John Sumrall and co. against Florida, who comes in a little fat, happy, and complacent in this spot, in my opinion. Sure, they've looked great in their last couple of games since they made the QB change to Lagway, but I think Tulane shows up, and effort matters more in these bowl games than anything. Matters way more than talent, in my opinion. And Tulane's going to show up. John Summerall's going to have those boys locked in, looking to finish their season on a high note after a great year. Their star QB transfer somewhere else. They got a pretty good backup that they're going to plug in. And the majority of the rest of those guys are still playing tonight. So I'll back Tulane and the Green Wave against the Gators, getting some serious points.
Like it. I do think Florida overperformed just a little bit this year, you could say. I mean, you look at the schedule at the beginning of the year, and I mean, they were so impressive. I do think this is a bit of a letdown in the bowl.
They had the hardest schedule in college football, in my opinion. I think they might have had statistically the hardest schedule in college football as well. They had a low win total at like 5.5. They overperformed out the wazoo. Winning 7 games for them is like most teams winning 8 or 9. The Gators should not be slept on, but in this spot, I think they really don't have much to get up for at this point of the season. They've already done job, right?
Yep.
Okay. You got the ponies.
I do. This is my whale of the weekend.
Wow. Let's hear it.
I think when it comes down to teams that don't really perform when it matters most, you think of Notre Dame, you think of Texas, and you think of James Franklin and Penn State. And after a dominant showing on offense in the Big Ten Championship, a game where it looked like Franklin can coach a big game where he can take care of the defensive or take advantage of the defensive weaknesses of the opposing team, which is Oregon secondary. I think that he shits down his leg in this game. I do. It's going to be cold. It's going to be hard to throw. I think Aller's going to struggle a little bit as well after having a great game. I think he's going to be more conservative in his play calling because it's the big dance now. And I think SMU's defense is getting a little too much shade thrown at him, especially their run defense. And I think they can bottle up Allen and Singleton a little bit. I think Franklin this is going to be a pure Franklin disaster class. I'm going to always fade Penn State and James Franklin in a big spot. And this is exactly what it is. I could see the argument for Notre Dame and for Texas as well, because it's the same thing, but I feel like no one has proved less than James Franklin, especially in big games. This is now the biggest game of his life. He's never been in the playoff. Been in the playoff.
You got to show up. Everybody's roasting Ryan Day, but they probably should be roasting James Franklin a little bit more too. I'm with you.
And I mean, when everyone's talking about how easy of a path they have, oh my God, you have a team that barely made it into the playoff, and then you have a G5 bye. You're basically in the semis already. It's not going to be that easy. It's not. They're going to find a way to cover this, and I could see them winning it too.
I was about to ask you going to have any coins on the ML?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. All right.
I'm very confident in the ponies, and I haven't backed SMU in months, it seems, and I'm very excited to do so.
All right. For me, it comes down to their O-line. Can their O-line hold up against Penn State's pass rush? I don't know if they can. We're about to learn a lot about that SMU team against by far the best pass rush they've seen all season. It's not even close. Can they hold up their average O-line, maybe a little bit above average O-line? Can they hold up against Penn State and that really good pass rush and solid D-line? I don't know. We're about to find out. But that's going to be the X factor in this contest, in my opinion. Okay?
I'm excited for that one especially.
One of those two dogs, whether it's SMU or Indiana, I think is winning outright. So one of the two of us is going to look like a genius. The other one's going to look like an idiot. We'll see how it plays out. Okay?
Maybe they both happen. I mean, this year's been so chaotic.
Yeah, if it's going to happen anytime, it's probably this year when you got all these, big name schools that are kind of frauds and never show up when the lights are bright. If it's going to happen anytime, it's probably going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be shocked. Okay? Let's go ahead and move on to our meat on tape plays here. Okay, our favorite plays of the weekend. Indiana +7, already sold it. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I do think this is the best play on the board tonight. And my favorite play of the weekend is Indiana, the Hoosiers. I'm standing on business here. I'm backing Coach Cignetti coming over from JMU. He's got still more to prove. He's got some left in the tank, and those players got to prove to the rest of the world that they belong here as well. And after that blowout in their last contest, getting back on track, I think they show up once again. And their defense is getting so much hate, Indiana is. Well, what could help? Some snow on the ground for sure. So I think Indiana might even benefit from the snow tonight potentially. And you're going to see Notre Dame be a little too one-dimensional. If I was Indiana, if I was Coach Cignetti, I would sell out against the run. I'd sell out against Love. Shit, it might not work every time. He still might go more than his rushing yards. He probably will because he's going to get 25 carries. But I think that's the only chance he got. You sell out. You try to make him beat you through the air. Riley Leonard we'll see how it goes because he's been pretty hit or miss through the air at times this season. And they've got a couple good pieces in that secondary as well that are solid. So I'm back in Indiana. I'm taking the points, and I love seeing them down from 7.5 to 6.5 overnight with the news of the snow. I think that benefits them.
Don't really
Just
agree,
move.
but
Just move.
I'm going to move to Ohio State. And obviously, you love
Just
Ohio
move.
State. I think they're getting so much disrespect and so much hate for losing to Michigan, when in reality, it's the biggest, most pivotal rivalry game of the year every year. Okay, they can catch slack for losing to a horrible Michigan team. That doesn't mean they're just automatically going to be bad. The rest of the year, they were great. I mean, they went into Eugene and barely lost that game. You could argue they should have won that game if Howard slides Will Howard slides 2 seconds ahead of time. I think they just go out and dominate Tennessee. Tennessee has shown their struggles on offense. The Ohio State defense is the highest paid defense of all time for college. I mean, this is when it matters. Okay, they have the better coaching. Hartline's a great coach. I think he bottles up Nico, gets to him a couple of times. I think this is a blowout for sure, and I know you agree. It was on your blowouts section.
Yep. Love it. It's got to be Ohio State this weekend.
Yep.
Favorite play. Look, maybe not the spread, but ML, they're getting the win. So if you're looking for a parlay piece, please keep Ohio State back pocket chat. I had them locked in with Edmonton last night, so we move. But I think they're a great look on the spread as well, and I lean that way.
Gooch told me about that two-piece that you fucking locked in. I forgot to do it.
Nuke the two-piece. Yep. Edmonton last night, along with Ohio State plus 105. Still some work to be done.
Yep.
Okay. Like Ohio State. Good. All right. Prize Pick Squares. Let's power through these puppies, and then we'll get Trent on here for NFL. Rav W stepping up and coming on for CFB today, or CFP. Quinn Ewers, more than 19.5 fantasy score. I talked about how I think Quinn Ewers impacts this game, and I do think he's going to be the one carrying them to a big-time victory and probably a cover and carrying this total over as well. Quinn Ewers, just take a peep at that fantasy score if you haven't already, chat. It's extremely red, and who the heck wants to back him after that show he put up in that last game? Well, I think Quinn Ewers has had some time to think about that performance, and I think he shows up, and I think he turns into prime Baker Mayfield in this contest and absolutely slices and dices a bad Clemson defense. I'm not worried about Clemson's defense. Come on, they haven't been good in years. Quinn Ewers is cashing this fantasy score, and he's going to cash Texas spread along with the over. Okay? And then Will Howard's, I've already seen it, probably the weirdest, nastiest square up this weekend. What do we know about Will Howard when the lights are bright? He never shows up. He never respects coins, and he always throws a pick. Well, they're hanging up an interception square this weekend for Will Howard's Mr. Interception, and I'll tell you right now, he's not throwing a pick. Favorite play of the weekend, favorite angle of the weekend on Prize Picks, any sport. Will Howard, less than half an interception after throwing 1 million in his last couple games. He's going to be taking care of the football, handing it off to his 2 stud running backs who are getting paid the big bucks to be there and carry the weight. If I was Ryan Day, I would hand the ball off to Travion Henderson and Keenshawn Judkins 1,000 times in this contest. I don't even think Will Howard's going to throw the ball much. Keep the ball secure, be conservative, hand the ball off to your 2 stud running backs and have them carry you to a W in this game. Will Howard's not even going to have the opportunity to throw picks when he's only throwing the ball less than 20 times in this game.
Yeah, I was literally going to say that last part. I think they're just hammer Judkins and Henderson.
Run the damn football 100 times, legitimately. And shit, maybe even Will Howard gets the legs loose. I like his rushing square as well. But he's not throwing a pick, guys. I'll tell you right now, mark that square down, put a star next to it. Okay? Rav?
Convince me to like both of those.
Okay, good. Good. I'm a salesman at heart, so I hope I can. Let's hear your 2 Prize Pick squares. What are you cooking up this weekend?
Yeah, so Nico less than rush yards is my first one. I kind of talked to Jovan about this a little bit. I wanted to fade Tennessee in their offense somehow, and this is by far my favorite way. Don't forget sacks count for this, chat. Ooh. I think that he gets sacked a couple times, and even when he tries to run, I don't think it'll be for that much. I think the Ohio State defense clamps him up. They're, again, a very, very good unit, maybe a top 5, top 3 unit in college football. And Tennessee and Nico are not going to be ready for that great crowd at night in Columbus in the cold. He is still young, and I think he struggles to get 20 rush yards. I love the square.
I need to hear I love that square too. I'm literally about to lock it in as you fix the Martians. Okay, go ahead and fix those Martians. I'm going to need one hell of a sell job on Harrison Wallace, though. I'll tell you right now, because I'm looking at his square, I'm looking at his chart, and Mr. Harrison Wallace has been a cash cow for Penn State in recent weeks. His chart is green as mom.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to what I think the game plan for Penn State's going to be. I think they're going to be really conservative with the ball, try to run it a lot. And I think Aller's going to, once again, after a great game in the Big Ten Championship, struggle to throw the ball in the cold. And, yeah, he's been very good. The chart is green as fuck.
Yes.
I don't think he can eclipse 40 receiving yards. I think they're just trying to try to run the ball, and it's going to play into the narrative where Franklin is just kind of giving away the game to SMU because of how he's calling plays and how things are going. And I know he's not really calling the plays. It's cold Nicky, but we saw how it was managed. The game was managed, especially on offense, when they were playing Ohio State. And I think it's going to be the exact same thing against SMU. Even though Ohio State is a much better team, they should be able to run over SMU on offense. I just don't think it's going to happen in the cold. And I'm going to fade one of their best receivers along the way.
Love it. I just locked in a 4-man with my 2 squares from college football this weekend, your 2 squares for college football this weekend.
Let's go.
I mean, Rav, if you're bringing 2 less thens to the table and you're fading a chart that green, sign me up. You don't got to sell much.
Can you send me that link?
Oh. Yeah. I'll send you the link. I will send the link in the Twitch chat as well if you guys want to get involved and tail this 10Xer.
Yeah,
I'll drop
love
the link
these
in the Twitch chat, and I will drop the link in the private chat for you, Rav, if you want to get it out of this puppy before you hop out.
Send myself on Twitter.
Okay. Dubs. Chat, hope you guys enjoyed the college football weekend preview. Can we clap it up for Rav coming in with some winners and some pretty sharp angles there? Way to finish strong with those prize pick squares as well, Rav. We appreciate you. Good luck this weekend. Okay?
Yep, you too, Krabs.
We'll be fucking. Peace, brother. Sure. All right, let's go ahead and get Trent on this puppy. I'm sure they got to switch spots, so we'll go ahead and work on that real quick. While we do, we're going to take a peep at – I want to look at this Ohio score. Let's go ahead and pull that up on the screen real quick, and we'll take a peep at Ohio, Jacksonville State. We could talk through if you guys have any winners going on right now. Would love to see what you guys are on. Looks like Ohio is up 20-7, and as we speak, Jacksonville State's missing a field goal. Ooh, brutal. Gosh. Hope you guys did not take Jacksonville State in this game without their coach, right? Coach is going to West Virginia. Team's probably checked out, at least minimally. Dom Smooth has Ohio minus 6.5 W's. Love to see that. CBB, NC Central, yes. Dead Larry Bird, I love that play. I will check out North Texas and UTEP. Okay, don't you worry. I will check out those 2 pups in a moment. Yeah, it looks like 20-7 for Ohio. W Goots grinding. Can we get some W Gootsies in the chat? And we always appreciate Rav getting involved and coming on here with some college football winners. All right, now we're going to pivot. We're going to get Trent involved. Before we do and pull him up, we're going to go ahead and shout out our subbies here. Holy Howitzers, coming in hot. Where's Jovan? Big weekend. Travel day for the kid. It's the holidays. He gets a pass. Okay. Austin Rendis coming in hot with a resub as well for 11 months. Love to see that. Appreciate you guys. Okay. That link for that 4-man that we just locked in is still in the chat if you want to get involved. All right. For now, let's go ahead and bring Trent up here and see what he's on for this weekend in the NFL. Celtics ML, huh, Trent? Well,
really bad.
Yep, I'm going there.
Really bad.
I saw the clip. It's a
bad one. It's a bad clip.
Yeah, not good. Maybe try to delete that one. Get that one out of here. Chat, how we doing? We got Trent up in this puppy. Good to see you, my man. You've got what jersey are you rocking over there right now?
Bijan. We got the
Bijan jersey. Still need him to finish the job. Excited to talk some NFL with you. Before we dive in and take a peep at our favorite plays, do you have any winners you got to let the people know about for tonight?
Well, all eyes are on Goots' boy, Jeremiah Love.
Sure.
Need him to literally be Adrian Peterson tonight. 73 yards, I think is what we need. So need that. And then also, I love Bam PRA tonight against OKC.
Sure. Nobody knows their team better.
But I'm not running a third stream tonight, so I would love to know. We can get into it after we talk NFL,
Sure.
but I wasn't able to. I've been packing and doing chores and shit all morning, so I
Yeah,
haven't been
dude.
able to listen. But yeah,
We can craft up some plays if you need them after we go through the NFL weekend preview if you're down. Okay.
would love that.
Let's get it started with some unders. We'll get these puppies out of the way. Okay, chat. 2 unders that we're seeing this weekend on the NFL slate, and I'll get it started with an under in the Giants and Falcons game. Maybe this is square. I don't really know how square it is, considering we're getting Michael Penix involved now, and everybody thinks he's going to save the world and save the Falcons season and carry them to the Super Bowl. I like the under in this game, and I do think the rookie will struggle at times against this Giants defense that every once in a while they just kind of show up and perform. And against a rookie QB, this could be the exact spots. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction for the Falcons and their offense getting a new look under center. I don't know if it's going to help them out too much. If it was me, if I was coach, I probably would have still ridden with Kirk Cousins because, a matchup on Sunday Night Football against his former team is coming up. But that's just me. Okay. I'm not seeing points in this game. I think the Falcons defense for back-to-back weeks for the first time all season shows up. And the Giants don't do shit on offense in this game. And I wouldn't be shocked if Michael Penix, like I was talking about, struggles at times in this game as well. And the Falcons end up relying on your guy Bijan to squeak out a win in this contest when it gets sketchy later on in a low-scoring, very close affair.
Yeah,
I think this game is going to be toit. I think it's going to be ugly, gross, not a game you're going to want to watch. And that's exactly why it's my snooze fest under.
I like this one. Actually, kind of jealous of it, low key. That's sharp.
Sure, feel free to tail. Yeah.
I'm going the under in Jets Rams.
Okay.
As we've seen on primetime a couple times, this Rams offense is kind of moose shit. They're kind of moose. I feel like they could turn it on when they want to, and they just don't show up when they don't want to. It's insane. But I think traveling across all the way to New York, I feel like the Rams play up or down to their competition pretty well. And the Jets are fucking moose shit. I see this game being just a Gruden grinder, run the football. It's going to be like a 15-12 type final, kind of similar to that 49ers game. But the under is ticking down. I think it went from 47.5 to 46.5. Love that. But I don't know. I just look at this game and I could just smell just a Gruden grinder type game.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's usually how I fucking pick my unders. It's just like, it's kind of based off vibes strictly, but I'm looking across this game. I get the same vibe from the Giants Falcons too. That under is fucking surgical.
You think Michael Penix is going out there and turning it into Mahomes game 1? Probably not.
Probably not. OG Sour, 5U Sub Whaler, you're goated. You're goated.
Sure we can.
Appreciate the 5 whalers. But
Sure
yeah, give me this under. It's going to be a sleepy, gross, boring ass game that you're probably not going to have on your TV.
Well, I might. And we'll go ahead and segue into the Mikey Over segment and talk about this game just a little bit more, unfortunately, Trent. I'm on the over in this one.
You're fucking joking me. You're joking me.
I wish I was, but I'm not.
You're actually
You can't
joking.
make it up. Nope.
You cannot make it up. Let me hear this spell job.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers has been in the spotlight this week. He's going to show up once again. Aaron Rodgers has been chirping. He's starting to get his confidence back, his swagger back. You know how Aaron Rodgers is feeling by how much he's fucking yapping and saying stupid shit in the media, right? And there's been a lot of shit this week about Aaron Rodgers running his mouth, chirping Ryan Clark. The documentary coming out on Netflix about Aaron Rodgers as well. You're telling me, with all eyes on Aaron Rodgers, once he has a couple decent games under his belt in the last 2, you're telling me he's not showing up against the Rams defense that's absolute quail shit? I'll tell you right now it is. And Matt Stafford and the Rams coming off a terrible performance on offense. Cooper Kupp with a literal Shugs bagel. He grabbed a bagel on the way to the game last week. You're telling me they're not showing up and putting up some points, Trent? Come on. We're getting points. I don't care if this total's dropping. It's dropping because it's the public under. This game's soaring. It's going to be the best game on the weekend.
I can't believe you just sat there, fucking nodded your head, and waited to yoink my fucking dong for this sell job.
Yep.
You
that's
think
exactly
the
what I
Rams
did.
are going to show up in chilly willy New York?
In the freezing cold, Cooper Kupp is going to turn back into Calvin Johnson. Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen. Because that Jets defense sucks and Sauce Gardner's overrated. And they got nothing to play for. But Aaron Rodgers does because he's an asshole. and he's running his mouth, and he's going to show up again and put up a big number, and Matt Stafford's going to follow suit. Yep.
Okay. Well, we have our official Battle of Burke.
Sure. Sign me up. Tell me about this over in Arizona, Carolina. You're not going to hear any fades or counters from me on this one. I like this play.
Okay. Let me get my Pickett Pro meat sheet up here.
Sure.
But I like this over. I think the Cardinals are going to be the one who gets the majority of the points here, and I think McBride scores. I think McBride scores twice, low key. I know everyone's trying to catch the falling knife with McBride, but I think this is the week. I think he goes off. I know it is Chilly Willy, and Kyler literally came out and said that he hasn't played in the snow too often, or sub 30-degree weather. I think he's never played in before, and everybody's quick to nuke that under after hearing that shit. Is exactly why I love the over for it. But I just think that there's going to be more points than people think in this one. I don't think the weather is going to play too much of a factor, even though it's really cold. But actually, looking at the Pickett splits here, we got 74% of the money's on the over, but 57% of the bets are on the under, which is weird. That's weird.
Well, the total's moving up, which is a good sign.
Always a good sign. Love that. Love that. It's the highest total on the week, I think, which I always try and target those overs because they usually fucking soar. But would love to hear your thoughts on this play. I think there's going to be a shootout. I think, what's his name? Bryce Young is actually going to be able to keep this one close a little bit. Kind of a short spread. But I think there's going to be hella points. Bumped up to 47 too.
Sure. Yeah, I like this play a lot. I might even be on this myself. I think Arizona carries the weight, like you're saying. I mean, Arizona and Kyler Murray's prize pick squares, I think, tell the majority of the narrative here. He's about to tweak, whether it's on the ground with his legs. His rushing yard square is looking pretty high compared to what he's done of late, and it makes football sense too. If it's going to be cold, you better use those legs. Get him up and moving, because that's probably the way they win this game. His fantasy score is very high. I think Arizona is going to have no problem scoring and moving the rock. And I wouldn't be shocked if Bryce Young, Adam Thielen and co, Chuba Hubbard, against this terrible rush defense in the Cardinals. I think they probably do end up feeding Chuba a lot, but when they need a first down, they got old reliable Thielen to throw the ball to. And they got enough, at least on the offensive side of the ball, and that O-line's been playing a little bit better to give Bryce Young some time. And with that total moving up, like you said, who the heck wants to bet on an over involving these two shit teams? Well, with that total moving up, and I think looking at some of these prize pick squares, I could so see some points. I think this will be a very exciting game.
W5 suburb from Putts. You're goated. Let's go.
Putts?
You're goated.
Sure we can. Putts? Boy.
After what I watched Rico fucking Dowdle do to this Panthers defense last week, I wouldn't be shocked to see a James Conner legacy game, but I also wouldn't be shocked to see Chuba Hubbard as well after only getting 22 yards last week. L game script for him last week. They were down immediately and couldn't really run the ball much. But I wouldn't be shocked to see Chuba Hubbard get some touches, go over his yards, but also James Conner is probably going to have 2 TDs as well.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
One of the most underrated running backs in football. I don't know what it is. Probably because he's on the Cardinals and he's out there West Coast in Arizona. But, I mean, he just gets the job done more often than not. James Conner's a beast. He probably does grub along with Chuba against that terrible rush defense in Arizona. Yep. Like the over, like points. I think that's a pretty sharp play. See how it goes, chats.
Let's go.
Let's move and groove and talk about some favorites. We'll talk about some blowouts, some teams we think are going to win and win big. Then I've got the Raiders. Oh, God. The Raiders shouldn't be favorites against Mima and Peepa, let alone the Jags, who have actually scored some points and been a legitimate team for at least the last 2 weeks. Before that, they were probably even more of a joke than the Raiders. And the Raiders are just starving for a dub. And although it might not make sense for them to win this game, because they want to get the number 1 overall pick, I still think Coach Pierce is trying to get a win. This team, people forget they started 2-2, and they've gone on to lose 10 games in a row. I mean, what the fuck are we doing? And they're favorites against the Jags and Mac Jones, who's moving the rock.
The Pickett splits for this, everyone's nuking the Jags.
Interesting.
What
Good.
the fuck? I love that.
Because they've seen Brian Thomas and Mac Jones the last 2 weeks at least move the ball and get 1 win. The Raiders haven't done anything good over the last couple weeks. Who the heck's playing QB for the Raiders? I don't care. It doesn't matter. They're favorites. Sometimes you got to lean on the odds makers to place a bet, and this is the exact case right here. The Jags should be favorites in this spot. And seeing the Raiders catching steam up to -1.5 now too is a great sign. The Raiders win and they win big.
I can get behind that.
Gross play.
Yeah, it is gross.
TBD if we see that in the surge 6, that would take some serious stones.
That would take some mega stones.
But I do think it's a winner. Okay. What about the Bills?
I think the Bills are going to absolutely destroy the Pats. Historically, they normally do. Josh Allen literally owns the Pats. But I mean, this huge spread, we've seen these huge spreads a couple times this year, and I'm pretty sure they've all covered pretty easily as well. Bills at home, I think this could probably be the last game for Josh Allen for the rest of the year too, potentially. Not exactly sure what needs to happen in order for that to happen. But rumors are swirling that he will probably be benched the last 2 weeks, which is unbelievable.
At least play a drive, maybe like preseason vibes. Keep
Which
it fresh.
Unbelievable for goat whale bettors, of course.
Yes.
But I don't see a world where the Pats are going to be able to keep this one close. I really don't.
Ginormous number between two divisional opponents, so you're not going to hear an argument from me. I mean, you don't see that very often, no matter the circumstances. 14 against a divisional opponent. Come on. Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Do you think that you can take games off and still win the MVP?
That's a really good question because Lamar's breathing down his neck. The odds might not say so, but if Lamar puts up a couple good games, he has a good game this weekend against the Steelers in a game I like the over. He has a good game on Christmas, I think. Does he play on Christmas or something? He's got another big game coming up next weekend. That's a great point.
49ers.
Yeah. Christmas Day against the Texans. Yeah, that's a huge – I mean, Texans defense kind of starting to lock back in here, so might not be thinking he puts up as big of a number, but – I think the MVP race is actually a little bit closer than the odds show. Josh Allen's still the winner, but it's closer. So maybe he doesn't want to sit out. That's interesting how that plays out between him and McDermott because they also have the best opportunity they've had to actually win a Super Bowl ever this year too. So they got to kind of figure out and pick what they want to roll with there. MVP or Super Bowl. That's tough.
Pretty square pick. It looks like everybody's also has the same thoughts as me, taking the spread. But what do we know about this entire NFL season? Squares have been fucking feasting.
You're Bezos. Another win last night. You son of a gun.
That graphic that Bookit posted is actually fucking crazy.
It's awesome.
Granted,
it's so ridiculous that it's awesome.
One of them,
something I've never seen before.
One of them was a push. That Falcons game, goated push. But everything else, dude, unbelievable. I mean, look at the fucking graphic. Only 2 dogs have covered on primetime in the last over a month.
And it'd be one thing if, you're hitting all your fucking bets or you're on a streak, just locking in wagers on any given day, right? But these are primetime spots of the square shit occurring 9.9 times out of 10 for 99% of the season. It's crazy.
It's unreal.
Maybe the people talking about, gambling's changing a little bit, right? These books, they make so much money on these fucking lays and shit. They don't need to worry about being as sharp. Maybe they're right.
Yeah.
Maybe they're right. But whatever you're doing right now, Trent, keep doing it because it's fucking working. Don't change shit and keep taking plays like the Bills because until it stops working, you got to keep your foot on the gas.
Yeah. Okay? I have an interesting dog play for you next.
Let's check it out. I'm excited to see it. Bears. Now, do you actually like the Bears or you just notice that that's a nasty line? Both are okay.
No, I actually do like it. I mean, give me a divisional home dog anytime, especially against a team that has 19 guys on the fucking ER. 19 guys on the ER.
Yep.
Or IR, sorry. We've already seen the Bears keep it within 3 points against this fucking team on Thanksgiving. You don't think they can do it on fucking Christmas? At home? At home? Sorry, I didn't mean the ER, bro. IR, bro. Come on. You don't think they can do it on Christmas, bro? At home? Come on. In the chilliest of fucking colds, too. Dave and Josh, boots on ground. You think Josh, boots on ground, they ain't covering?
Come on. 100% agree. I'll be on this play myself. I didn't hear no bell. I'm betting Caleb until we get one more cover at the end of the season, or I go down with the ship. It is what it is. So I'll be with you on this play. And yes, it's the sharp sides. And sure, it makes football sense a little bit too. We've seen these guys face off, and it was a close game. Like you said, Detroit has a CVS receipt of injuries going on right now, especially on defense, which is going to be huge for Caleb in this game. Give him a fucking chance. It's got to be the +6.5 on paper. Detroit -6.5 looks like one of the freer plays of the day against a dead Bears team in GTA. Well, it's exactly when you swoop in and bet Caleb Williams one more time.
Yep.
Has to be done.
The more people hate it, it's exactly what makes me love it even more. Just like you.
Sure.
I have tendencies of you just a little bit.
Sure.
Not
I mean,
all
you at
the
least get it. And you
Yeah.
see all the people hating the play in the chat, and you realize, you know what? That might just be a winner.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll be with you on that play.
Let's
That's a good
go.
looking dog.
Love that.
49ers, I guess, are a dog. +1 most places, or a pick 'em, and they opened up a favorite, but right now they are a dog on the roads. Season's over for the 49ers, right? Nothing matters. They got some injuries as well. They've looked like shit this season. Well, this is exactly when Shanahan wins the game, when the game doesn't mean shit. Because when it means shit, they don't show up. We know that by now. Fuck this team. But in a game that means nothing, quote unquote, although I still think there's a chance they could squeak in if they somehow win out, if any team could do it. It's those motherfuckers out there in San Fran. But let's start with one game first. The Dolphins look much better. I know they're coming off of 2 losses in their last 3 games, but overall, the last 2 months of the season, it's night and day between these two squads, right? 49ers are dead, and the Dolphins actually have some life to potentially even squeak into the playoffs, although I bet these teams have the same fucking record. This is a massive game for playoff implications here, and I think the 49ers win this game outright on the road. They're my dog, sitting at +1 right now. I will be on Shanahan and Brock Purdy and co. on the roads when everyone's back in McDaniel, whose job is safe. That's official now. He's not going to have to worry about finding a new job next year. Well, that might result in some fat, happy, and complacency in this spot against a dead 49ers team with nothing to play, coming off another terrible loss. I'll back them one more time. I didn't hear no bell. As crazy as it is to say, I will have my hard-earned coins on the 49ers against.
I mean,
it sucks, but
I don't know how you do it after everything they've done to us, to be honest with you.
To be honest, man, if they don't come through in this spot, that might be it. And yeah, that might fuck me up in the head a little bit if they don't come through in this spot. In a meaningless game, get it done. Come on.
They're one of those teams I can never look at them the same.
Yeah, what they've done, it's irreversible damage.
I know it's like gambling and you can't like have a ban list and shit like that, but Draymond Green and the 49ers are absolutely on it.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I swear to God, if they don't come through in another sharp spot, I'm going to explode. But
Twitter
I do
follow
like the spot.
From Diesel Bets. Diesel, what's your Twitter, bro? What's your Twitter?
Diesel Bets coming in. Let's go.
Also, we're either on the front page of Twitch right now or we're getting view botted because we're getting a fuck ton of new followers. And there was like a minute ago, there was like 800 people in here. So I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Let's go. People are stoked to have you back on BTL today. Maybe that's what it is.
Let's go.
Sure.
Let's go.
All right. We got some new heads in here. We do have some new follows coming in hot. You're right, Trent. W's. If you guys are new, we are also live on the YouTube as well at Bookit Sports, and we have some additional content, some videos over there as well. Check out the coin toss, going over the college football plays this weekend. Check out the college football pod we just put out on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube at Bookit Sports. All right, go check us out over there. Go subscribe. It is free. Okay? First-time chatter coming in. Not a bot. Just give me the locks, Daddy. Okay. Well, wish I didn't read the last part, and wish I reread that the whole time before I said it out loud.
I'm driving to OKC tonight, bro. So I gotta drive like pretty soon after this. So I can't do a search stream today. I'm sorry. I hate it. I need whales.
You'll be all right. We can take a peep at the slate before you go if you have time. Okay. 49ers, ML, we'll see how it goes. And the Bears +6.5. Hilarious graphic up there. Surely that goes well with both those two teams. Yeah. Two nasty plays. Honestly, I love it though. The grosser it is, the better it is. Let's move on to
my margins real fast.
Yep. We'll go ahead and move and groove on to the what do we got, Gootsy? Meat on tape plays here for the peeps. We got some W first-time chatters right now getting involved as well. Love to see it. We appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and get to the meat on tape plays for this NFL Sunday. Okay? And I like Seattle. +3 at home in what I think is kind of a must-win spot. Now, they might not be, mathematically eliminated or out of the playoff picture with the loss here, but
Echo check.
W's.
W goods.
Good shit, Gates. Drop those W Goots in chat. Drop those fucking Shamrocks in chat for Gatesy. Get the juices flowing before the Irish game tonight. He deserves it. He's grinding right now. Seahawks, I think they win this game outright, to be honest with you. I think they catch the Vikings lacking. A Vikings team that just continuously goes on and destroys their opponents every fucking week. If only somebody said Kevin O'Connell's him before the season and said they might win that division at plus 1,200. Oh, wait, we did. The Vikings are legit. Don't get me wrong. But if you could craft up a fat, happy, and complacent spot on the NFL Sunday slate, this might be it. The Vikings on the roads. I know they're still trying to play for first place. I fucking get it. But they're going to the playoffs. They got nothing to worry about. And Seattle, this game means way more for them with a banged-up Geno. Who the heck believes in Geno Smith on one leg in this game to keep it close within a field goal against the Vikings, who destroy every team in their path? I might be the only person, and that's a great side to be on. I'll back the Seahawks in a sharp spot, and I'll back Coach McDonald, who I think is one of the more underrated coaches in the NFL this season that nobody's talking about because they have Geno Smith, and they're not that flashy on offense, but it's their defense that shows up in a game with the total dropping down to 42.5, involving the Vikings that score 30 points every week. Come on. This is going to be an under game. This is going to be a close game within a field goal, and I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle wins outright.
I actually like this too. I just hope Geno is like chilling.
Well, it'll be better than Sam Howell, whatever the fuck we saw out of him last week, even if Geno's on one leg.
For real.
He might just be bad. Yep.
Bucks, love it. Real quick. Straight locks. I need your fucking POD today, doggy. I need it.
Sure.
I need it bad. Bucks -4 on prime time. This is the official primetime pick. Honestly, anytime the Cowboys are playing in Jerry World, I'm more than happy to fade the fuck out of them this year. They're horrible at home. And I feel like this is a game Baker is so bricked up for. He has a vendetta against anything Texas related. I'm sure he fucking despises the Dallas Cowboys. And I just think that this is a huge game for them in terms of their playoff race. They're in the division with the Falcons. I think they're close to the same record. If I'm wrong.
I think they have them right now, but it's close.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a big game. The Cowboys are checked the fuck out. But really, anytime that they're at home in that fucking building, I swear they get blown out.
You're not wrong, Trent. They are 1-6 straight up and against the spread in home games this year. That's fucking moose.
Moose. There you go, Chad. I did some homework.
Moose.
I did some homework. No, they're moose, dude. I'm so confident the Bucs have an insane game, and I think they cover their alt spread, whatever the fuck it would be. 10
Would you be surprised if I told you the Cowboys have won 3 of their last 4 games?
I know.
Isn't that? And nobody's talking about it. Most of those games have been on the road as well.
Yeah. Now they're coming back home, and people are, oh, the Cowboys are hot. It's Christmas. Cowboys during the holidays are goated. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of memas or I guess peepaws losing coins with the stupid vintage cowboy hat that they're rocking during the holidays when the Bucs blow them out and Baker Mayfield drops nuts on tape and puts up a 35 perk.
Baker will be putting nuts on tape. However, Jovan and I, weekender bender, hopefully we get there.
Ooh.
Which Jovan's very confident that we will. We had Julius Randle threes last night, and we were like, if he bangs 2 threes, this slip's fucking hitting. He banged him the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So then it's all college plays, and then the last leg is Ferguson receiving yards. And apparently there's a system of tight ends against the Bucs. I'm not quite familiar with that system, but Jovan was very, very, very confident in it.
I mean, we just saw Stuart Smart, the tight end for the Chargers, a week or 2 ago, just put up an insane number against them.
Yep.
And he's a useless tight end.
Stone.
So that could have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Guy Stone Smart.
Yeah, Stone Smart. Got it. Went over last night too, by the way.
Bad defense. The Bucs defense. Yeah, sure. Bucs defense, really bad against tight ends. So if Jake Ferguson's going to do anything and show up when he really hasn't in recent weeks, and by the way, Jovan's been talking about that square for legitimately a week. I think since Monday or Tuesday on BTL. Yup. Yup.
Wow.
And he confirmed with me in one of my fantasy leagues to start Ferguson. Giving him one more shot. So he is very, very invested in Fergie this weekend.
Full transparency, we were crafting this weekender bender, and we had 5 legs, and we were like, dude, holy shit, every player in this fucking lineup starts with a J. Every player. Julius, Jeremiah, I forget the other 2. Oh, Jaden Blue.
Sure.
And we needed one more J. And he was like, brother, it's Jake Ferguson.
Meant to be. Fit
Meant
like a
to
glove.
be. So they're all J's.
All right. Let's hope he still doesn't have a concussion because he's been playing like he still does. Bless his heart. Because I have him in fantasy, so I've been kind of tracking him. But he's got a great matchup against this Bucs defense that can't cover a tight end to save their life. It's got to be the Fergie show. And that's fucking hilarious how that worked out. All J's. Should be a good look. All J's, hosted by Jovan. I like that. I like that. All right. W plays. W meat on tape plays here, chat. What do you guys think about the Bucs and the Seahawks this weekend as we pivot and talk about some prize pick squares? Let's get to it. Our favorite couple squares of the weekend. I brought up Aaron Rodgers. I talked about how it's been A-Raj week. The documentary dropped, right? All eyes are on Rodgers. He's chirping people on Twitter. He's chirping people on McAfee's show, right? Aaron Rodgers, he's not just chirping for nothing, and he's not going to back it up on the field. He certainly will. And it's not like he's playing against a good defense this weekend. He's not. He's playing against the fucking Rams. They're not showing up, not on the roads. I think once again, for the 3rd straight week, we see a solid game out of Aaron Rodgers, and maybe even a little bit better than that. I wouldn't be surprised if he honestly tweaks and plays his best game of the season as he continues to build momentum as we get close to the end here. You got Ryan Clark on Twitter making videos saying, buddy, your team right now, with you starting the season, has less wins than when you were out all last year. And the Jets had Random McGee's at QB, and they had more wins last season. You don't think he's showing up in this spot after Ryan Clark just chirped him about that? Come on. And after a couple solid performances, it's not like it's, out of left field at this point. If this was 2 weeks ago, it would have been. We've seen Rodgers show up at least last week, and I think he does again this week against a bad defense in the Rams.
Okay. Rodgers completions, huh?
I think he takes over. And then Sam Darnold, this is a nasty, crabby square that might not be on the board too long, I'll be honest with you guys. So if you want to lock it in, you might want to lock it in responsibly now. It's minus 125 now to the under on the books. And Sam Darnold has an extremely green chart. And honestly, he's averaged 2.1 passing touchdowns per game this season. I mean, he's been clearing this number. He's been throwing 2, 3, 4 touchdown passes a game, damn near every game. Like I was talking about earlier, they score 30 points a game. It's unbelievable. Well, I love the under in this spot. I want to fade the heck out of the Vikings and Sam Darnold, and I think I'll be seeing ghosts on the road in this game against a gritty defense that's going to show up here and take care of business and hold him less than 1.5 passing tutties. I think this game soars under, and that McDonald defense for Seattle is what potentially wins in this game outright, or at least keeps the game going under, keeps it close, and keeps Sam Darnold from throwing 2 passing tutties.
I can get behind that. That's surgical.
Nasty square.
Yeah.
Nasty.
That'll probably be gone soon.
It'll probably be gone soon. Yes. So chat, tail that one responsibly. Maybe lock it in with Trent squares.
Oh, yeah. That's got Krabs' name. Krabs' name all over it.
Yeah, literally. What do you got over there?
I have got to go with Mike Evans, man. I know I just talked about Jake Ferguson, but how can you not? Baker is making it very apparent that he wants to get this 1,000-yard mark for his boy Mike. Literally came out and said he cares about it more than Mike does. So I see that shit soaring the fuck over, bro. He had 150 last week. Square as shit. But I don't care. I don't care. There's narratives behind it, and we ride those. And Mike Evans, an absolute goat, gets the ball so many times, so many touches. So I feel like there's going to be plenty of touches against this rat shit Cowboys defense to be able to get over this number. I think he even goes over his demon, which will probably be in a Millie demon slip, which I wonder if anyone hit those last night. Probably.
Yeah. Has anybody seen a crazy?
I was really close. I was really fucking
crazy
close.
prize picks lineup. Oh, you won one guy off last night?
Dude, Sengun, 3 rebounds away, and Tatum hooked his PRA at 42. He got 41. Yeah, was so close. That was the closest.
5 or 6 man?
6 man, 400x. Yeah, And I was clicking buttons too. It was so sharp.
Did it give you anything in return since
No,
it
it
was
was
a demon?
a power play.
Okay, sure. Yep.
So
That is cool. You can power play those puppies now. Okay.
I mean,
Look, Trent, it might be kind of square back in Mike Evans, but at this point, I don't give a shit. You take him every week until he gets the goddamn records. Baker said it in the presser, I think earlier today or yesterday. Literally said he cares more about the record than Mike Evans does right now. He's going to feed his guy. Love it.
And give me Gibbs rushing 90.5 after
Crazy
a game.
number.
Jared Goff throws 500 yards. Gibbs and Montgomery both kind of had bagels, which is the first time we've seen that from them in all year. Usually this whole offense is through them. And last week they were just unable to do that because they were down by 2 touchdowns immediately. But I think that this game, especially in the chilly cold where Goff does not thrive too much, Gibbs is going to have to be a monster. And I think he will. The rush defense for the Bears is moose shit. And I just think it's going to be a Gibbs game. Honestly, the receiving yards too could be a look, but I just think that after a game, 500 passing yards going on the road in the chilly cold, you're going to want to control the tempo and pace of the game. You do it with your running back, who's an absolute beast, and no Montgomery, of course. So it's going to be Gibbs all game, if anything.
Get the Elmo meme up and moving because that shit's at 92.5. Crazy. That shit's on the way up.
That's like the 4th time it's been bumped.
Yeah, I'm locking it in now before it gets bumped again. Gosh, man, 2 sharp-looking squares, Trent. The Mike Evans one might not look sharp, but again, I've learned my lesson fading that guy. He gets the fucking rock as long as he doesn't get hurt, knock on woods. He's going to come through, and he's going to get at least 10 targets in this game, whether they're winning or losing, because Baker Mayfield understands the assignment. He knows what he's fucking doing here, and he's been doing it. He fed him for 150 last week. He's going to get 75, 100 this week as well.
I didn't even think about that. Ask Taxo as an emotional hedge. So honestly, I'll be happy with Goff throwing or Gibbs running.
Sure.
Didn't even think about that.
That's
but
true.
When we locked it in, it was at 88.5.
Wow.
Yeah. So got some serious bumpage.
Love to see that. I'm going to drop this 4-man with our 4 NFL squares for this weekend in the chat on Twitch. If you guys want to tail, I'll put it in the private chat here, Trent, too, for you if you want it. If you guys want to tail the 4-man with those 4 squares we just went over, I just locked it in and I dropped the link in the chat. All right, get involved responsibly. Okay, Trent, if you're going to back Gibbs rushing yards, this is the week to do it. Okay, they're going to fucking feed him. For better or worse.
Such a high line, dude. And
ridiculous.
It's that high for a fucking reason.
Agreed.
And it's bumping up for a fucking reason.
Agreed. He's getting triple digits, just like Jeremiah Love tonight. Okay.
Oh my! And look at the chart, Krabs. If you haven't looked at it.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously it's skewed. It's the first game I can remember where he doesn't have David Montgomery poaching carries, so it's skewed, but looks great to me. Already on it. Love it. Okay. We got the daily Seaburnout Nasty Square coming in hot in the chat. Krabs, look at Kelly Oubre PRA. Don't mind if I do. If these didn't smack damn near every day, I wouldn't check this mid NFL. But
Krabs, bro. So I've been making these videos for Prize Picks where I do I go through the pop tab and I don't give out any picks. I just state facts. There's 100,000 people on X Play. Last night, the 2 most popular plays, 100,000 people on this shit. LaMelo RA, 150,000 plus, greener than Ma's cherry cobbler. Soars over like the freest square you've ever seen. Was literally a taco. Next one, 150,000 people on Karl Anthony Towns rebounds, 150 plus. The shit was even more green than LaMelo. I'm talking double the chart green.
I hate that
20 rebounds.
I hate that fucking square. And I've been good, not fading it. I learned my lesson about a week and a half ago when I stopped fading it after losing coins for 5 straight games. I mean, Cat gets 20 rebounds a game. At some point, they got to change the fucking line, bump it up to 19.5. It's absurd.
I know.
It's absurd. He's the only guy on that team that can rebound and is fucking capable of it, clearly. The guy gets 20 a game. At this point, it's Sharp taking it. So you know what? Props to those people for locking in those two square-ass squares. Good shit. They hit. That is absurd, though, Trent. Everybody on earth on them.
I just want to say there was a stretch on stream yesterday. 14 out of 15 props that were pitched were green. The one that lost, $1,000 Sengun.
Okay.
And you know what's worse, chat? You know what's
else.
worse? Let me bitch for a sec. You know what's worse? Is I got that pick from fucking Banker Better.
Okay.
Banker Better, right? I go on Twitter. I go on fucking Twitter. Banker Better is splooging for a 4-man that he crafted from plays on Surge Stream. And you know what was in there? Not the play that he fucking gave me, man.
No way.
Unbelievable. And then tags me in it. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's great. You're celebrating. I'm over here sulking because I tailed your fucking Nukenheimer.
He was smart to keep it out after he pitched it to you, I guess.
Shit's unbelievable, dude.
It's
unbelievable.
Gives the quickest sell jobs in all the land. Doesn't even end up taking a square. That's all right. He's sharp as heck. He gets a pass. That's crazy, though. That's crazy. All right. We went over the prize pick squares for this weekend in the NFL. We went over our straight bets. Any other plays, angles, questions, anything related to NFL you want to talk about?
Not necessarily NFL, but how does this lose? Okay. Need you to tell me. Full transparency. Just be honest.
Okay.
Notre Dame, Penn State, Ohio State, and Texas all on the money line.
Chat, help. Help. Trent, this is the college football playoffs, okay? Think of it as March Madness, especially this year. All these teams are beating up on each other. Is there really a clear-cut favorites? I guess it's Oregon, but they're barely favorites in the look-ahead lines for next round when they play Ohio State, who they've already beaten. One of these 4 favorites is losing outright. Okay, I think it's Indiana personally. I think it's tonight. I think they get the dog out of the way. I think it's Indiana. Now, some sharps think it could be SMU getting involved tomorrow. And you know what? I don't hate it. I think it's one of those 2 teams winning outright. But one of these 4 dogs is barking. And I'm not talking about cover. I'm talking about winning outright. Tread lightly. Trent, if it was that easy, Vegas wouldn't look as shiny as it does. You know it. I know it.
I mean, okay, what? I didn't get a chance to listen to the Rab segment. What dogs are you on out of those 4?
I like Indiana by far the most. Love Indiana.
What does Goots think about that?
Goots is pissed, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's pretty pissed. Pretty pissed. And
Goots.
he unshockingly disagrees.
Goots, is that a shit bet?
It's probably the worst wager I've ever seen in my life.
Like, actually, how do you feel about your boys tonight?
I feel great. Confident.
No worries?
No.
Score prediction?
31-17.
Wow. I think that's exactly what Rab said on Twitter. Let me check.
He tweeted exact scores?
Yeah, I don't know why he was tweeting exact scores, but unless I'm tripping, let me check really fast. Yeah,
I got the notif.
37-17.
Yeah, shit's hit.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be honest. I like Indiana, but obviously Goots, he knows ball. He knows he's Irish, so he's very confident.
This game right here is fucking rigged. That Leafs game.
What game?
That Leafs Sabres game. Sorry, I just sidetracked, but it was just right there.
It's okay. If I had to take another dog, I guess I would take SMU. I think Texas rolls and covers. I like the over in that game. I think maybe Clemson is up early or, hanging around early. There's a lot of points in this game. And then Texas and Quinn Ewers pull away late. So if you're going to take a favorite, I think Texas is a good look. I think Penn State wins. Maybe they don't cover, but I do think they win. But maybe SMU covers and keeps that game within a tutty. And then I'd say Ohio State is a strong lean in that game against Tennessee. So you get another favorite there. And then I like Indiana. So I'm pretty split 2-2.
Okay. I don't know if Texas covers, dude.
That's a big ass number, man, against Dabo.
For what? Why? What have they done?
After they've looked like shit. Texas looked like shit in their last game. Quinn Ewers looked terrible, right? Everything that people have been saying about Texas happened. in that last game, right? Quinn Ewers played like shit. He's clearly still hurt. The lights are too bright. They're coming off that loss, and they're laying 12.5 and catching steam as well against Clemson, who's been there before. Clemson, who finished the season strong, winners of 4 of their last 5. They squeak out that win against SMU to get here in the first place. They don't even belong here. I think Texas destroys them. I think Texas defense will end up winning them the game with a pick on Cade Klubnik. Not saying he's going to not move the rock and score some points, but Cade will throw a bad pick in this game. They'll probably cost him the spread. It'll probably be on his own side of the field. Texas will get great field position. They'll capitalize. And I think Texas pulls away late in this game. And them laying 12.5 definitely stands out to me. I think that's the weirdest line for a favorite that catches my eye. I think Longhorns roll. They win by 2 tutties.
Okay, fair.
Go look at Quinn Ewers squares on Prize Picks if you need some convincing.
Quinn Ewers squares on Prize Picks, huh?
People are acting like that guy is going to have no arms and legs on Saturday in this game. His fantasy score is pretty fucking high.
Pass yards 259. That's pretty fucking high.
Yeah.
Fantasy score 19.5, super high. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. So I think they win and they roll. And I would probably lean, if I had to take another favorite, I would say Ohio State. But I paired them on the ML. I think Ohio State is a great parlay piece, an unbelievable parlay piece. But I wouldn't mind them covering either. But be careful with that 4-piece. And can I ask what the odds are on that puppy? If you've crafted it, because I'm sure you put in a.
What's your guess?
I mean, if you're interested enough to bring it up, it's got to be at least barely plus chick. I'd say plus 107.
Plus 200.
Wow, way juicier. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, surely that pays out 2-1. All the favorites to win. I don't know, man.
We're gonna find out.
I don't know, man. That sketches me the fuck out. But it's still a 4-man parlay. You need a lot to happen, go your way. Maybe the ball bounce your way. I wouldn't do it, though. What else?
I need to fix Martian's boots. Shit's so fucking AIDS. Check.
Tens.
Echoes potential. Yeah, we're good.
W
Let's
Goods.
Goods.
Attaboy. Good work.
Goods.
All right. Well, Trent, we went over the NFL weekend preview. You asked a couple Qs about college as well. If you want, we could take a peep at some plays for today. If you want some winners on your way out before we wrap this puppy up.
Yeah. Pretty butthurt right now that I missed out on Jovan's fucking first square of the day. It's fucking bullshit.
Yep. He did get the graphic up and moving though, so
I know.
it was at least out there.
Guess on me.
Is it looking good? He took that receiver on Ohio, right?
Shit was free as fuck.
Okay. Well, we got another college football game coming up soon.
Yeah. So have you talked to him, or is there anything that you like in that game?
I mean, I like Tulane, and I know he likes Florida for sure. So that might not help you out there, but yeah, I'm going to be on Tulane in this game. I know I hate taking plus 10.5s, but I'm a sucker for John Sumrall and an effort-filled Tulane performance here in this game, coming off of 2 losses. Their star QB Mensa's transferring somewhere much better than Tulane. I think the backup QB who has some experience not only this season but in the past at Oregon has enough experience and mojo, at least using his legs in this game to move the rock down the field. He's got a 40.5 rushing yard square. He's got a touchdown demon that I'm going to be taking as well. I think he finds pay dirt, and I think this game is going to be a little closer than people expect. Florida ends the season very well off of 3 straight wins. They're looking sharp. They got their QB of the future in Lagway. This looks like a fat, happy, complacent spot to me. And although Florida probably wins this game, I think Tulane keeps it within a tutty.
Okay. I mean, the slate today is pretty fucking moose.
Yep.
Juwan has a POD in the Florida game. Does he now?
Oh God.
Does he now?
Is it a square? Straight.
Is he doing a square, a bowl game, or a bowl game square a day?
The day with like 10 bowl games, we're probably at 10 squares.
Huh.
Yeah.
And is he 4-0?
No, he lost one yesterday with Sam Houston QB. So
Oh, I
he's
fucking tailed that.
he's 6-1 or 7-1 now.
I fucking tailed that shit. Okay. Chat, what's worse, Celtics minus 1,000 or Draymond bagels? Shelly had a great point. He said the fact that Draymond had 0, if you were to bet that he would have 0 PRA, that shit would be plus 50,000. So basically, if you took over half a PRA, that'd be minus $1 million.
Okay. Sure. That's
So
insane.
keep that in mind.
Literally
in
tennis
mind.
now.
You're always saying Celtics. Fuck you, dude.
Unbelievable. Well, you got any plays in the NBA tonight you like? I know you're talking about Bam, PRA against your OKC Thunder. How do you think that game plays out tonight? Let's take a peek at the NBA before we go.
I mean, the Thunder being a dog, they weren't supposed to be an underdog until they play the Celtics coming up in January. It was like a crazy stat. The Thunder are favored for like the next 3 months. They've been favored in like every game. But now they're a dog, which tells me everything you need to know. Everything you need to know. The Miami Heat are such a team that OKC does not match up against well. I mean, we even saw it last night with Wendell fucking Carter Jr. grubbing 1 billion boards against OKC last night.
Yep.
I don't see how Bam doesn't do the same. Oh, I guess the line just flipped right in front of my eyes. When I first got on here, they were +1. Now they're -1. So
yeah, it's probably moving and grooving back and forth.
Regardless, this game, pretty low total, 217.5. Primer says fade the fan. I fucking bet Prime. I'm not even saying the Thunder are going to win this game. I'm literally telling you that the opposing big man's going to fucking grow. So, Prime, if you want to fade, go ahead and take Bam's under PRA. But I'm not even being square here, Prime. You tell me to take fucking Lively. Shit's cake. You know?
Prime, let me know if you found that leprechaun outfit, because I will send you whatever jersey you fucking want if you post a video tonight in a full leprechaun fit before this Notre Dame game. Okay? That deal still holds. You let me know if you can find the fit, and I'll send you a jersey your way. Okay? Milwaukee, Cleveland. God, the Cavs are so good. Milwaukee coming off that cup win. Sorry for bringing it up again. Spreads moved a pretty good amount towards Cleveland as well. Are there some injuries or some shit in this game? Somebody out for the Bucks? I'm sure somebody in chat could tell us. There's got to be.
I don't know.
Yeah, Giannis game time. Expected to play, though.
No Dame potential.
No Dame. He's out. That's what it is.
That's
okay.
What it is.
Yeah, so if anything, I'd buy the bad news and I would take the Bucks. But with them coming off that, cup win, I'm good for this game, and I certainly will not be betting it.
I feel you buying the bad news, but I feel like after you win $500K in Las Vegas, coming to play arguably the best team in the NBA at home or on the road, I would fade that. Yeah. I would take the Cavs.
Yep. If any of those guys even made it out alive with their coins after leaving the casinos, I'd be impressed after making that $500K. But
Adams got Wales with 5 gifted subs, and one of them the Snellzilla.
Wow. Would you look at that?
Adams
got picks. W's, my man. Appreciate you. Charlotte and Philly. I mean, what's your thought on this Philly team, man? I know it's a dumpster fire. It's a shit show, but they still get respect. People still think they're making the playoffs, and they have won 3 of their last 4 games. Is Philly finally starting to figure it out, Trent?
No. Give me Hornets money line plus 500.
Sure. I mean, look, it's the NBA. If you're going to bet like that or take a fat dog, that's the league to fucking do it in. It's so there's so much variance in this league, and anybody can beat anybody on a given night. So, sure. I certainly would not recommend the 76ers to a friend. No.
I do not bet on them. Oh, no, LaMelo. That's why it's so fat. Coming off the back.
That might be bad news that even I can't buy into because he's probably the whole team. Okay. Shout out the Wizards last night for getting a big time win. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Good for them getting a win outright at home. Okay. All right, chat. Well, we can get to the squad ride craft sesh if you guys are down. Trent, feel free to stick around if you'd like. and we can get to a winner for tonight. We do have a little bit of a streak going with the squad rides,
I know.
Trent. I don't want to jinx it, so I will knock on wood again. Okay, but we are 6-0-1 in our last, or sorry, 7-0-1 in our last 8 squad rides. Let's keep that train moving and grooving. Okay, Gootsy, go ahead and run that shit. I want to see that damn train. W new follows coming in on the Twitch. We're also live on YouTube as well at Bookit Sports. Okay, feel free to drop a sub over there. It's free, and turn the notifs on as well if you want to get notifs when we have new posts going up and when we go live. Okay, and W Adams got picks, dropping subbies, hella new follows. Appreciate it. BTL Friday, always getting live. All right, let's go ahead and finish strong today with the squad rides. Trent, if you had to lock in one play for tonight, and take your time, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but if you had to lock in one winner for tonight, I don't care what sport, what do you take?
Probably the under in the Thunder game.
Okay,
Or
under.
believe it or not, the Sabres are actually winning a game, but that does not need to go in the fucking boat.
Holy shit. Well, now I got to take a peep at the ice. The fucking
I'm not
Sabres, bro.
Not trying to catch full on knife here with that rat shit program, but why the fuck are they plus 130 at home against the Maple Leafs?
Yeah. Okay, well, if there's one thing I've noticed about fading streaks in any sport, especially baseball, because that's typically where I've done the most damage, trying to fade streaks, and I've learned my lesson. But typically when these teams break the streaks, Trent, it's not when they're weird favorites. It's not when they're getting line respect. When that's the case, they typically continue to lose, and they fall flat on their face, kind of like the Sabres in that last game when we took them, when they were super sharp and on that 10-game losing streak. Well, tonight, as dogs, nobody wants to touch them with a 10-foot pole. Look, people could notice that they're sharp or think that it's weird when they see them as favorites on a 10-game losing streak, and they might bet them, and then the books can make money that way. But tonight, at a dog price against a really good Toronto team, Trent, this is the spot to take the Sabres when nobody believes, not even the odds makers. If they're going to win and end the streak, it's tonight. I'm down to take that with you.
Yeah, and the Leafs look like a free bet, which just tells me it's probably not.
I do want to mention, we just posted a graphic about their losing streak. I don't know if that changes your thought process.
Boots, that could be.
I don't know what the
that could
record
be
is
different.
about us posting graphics and it not happening with what we post, but just letting you know.
Okay. I still want to lock it in. And you know what? I even want to put in the squad ride bet. Looking at the slate for today. That's probably the only play on the ice that we're going to pick, but let's put that puppy in there. Sabres ML. Plus 130. Do not fear the plus sign, chat. Sometimes you got to embrace it. Okay? Now, the real question is Goots going to is he going to kill me in GTA if I put Indiana in this puppy? I'm going to cut the chase and get right to it. Is Gootsy going to be super pissed if I put Indiana in here?
I'm not going to be pissed. I mean, it's going to suck when our squad rivalry streak goes to an end, Krabs.
Fuck.
And that would be your fault.
That would be my fault, and that would suck.
Yeah.
You were not wrong. A couple other plays.
To us, Krabs, you know?
No, you're right, Goots. And out of respect, I feel like I just leave it out. Now, Tulane I like, but that starts in an hour. So we're probably going to keep that out. Let's go to the college basketball board and look at some of these nasty plays.
I do have to dip, but
yeah, dude.
Chat, it was an absolute pleasure. Smack this fucking squad ride. I'm tailing.
Let's go.
Have a great Christmas. I'll try and squeak in some TikTok lives, but I really, really want some squares from some surgeons today, man. Please send me some DMs. Please. I need a pad. So let me know what you're on. Trying to craft up a Prize Picks whale for tonight's slate. But have a great Christmas, everybody. I'll try to squeak in some TikTok lives.
W's.
But we'll be C's. Krabs.
Yes, sir.
Kids.
Thanks for coming on, Trent. We appreciate you. Good luck tonight. Safe travels. Yep.
Peace.
All right, squad. Let's lock the fuck in. W crispy transition from Gootsy. My goodness. That was glorious. Okay, let's go ahead and pick this up. Tempo and pace. I know we're a little over schedule here, but no surge today, like Trent was saying. So we're okay on time. All right. First play we're putting in here. I can't believe it, but Trent gave a good one, and it's sharp. It's the Sabres ML on the ice. My God, he's right. And we're putting that shit in here. Okay. Let's go to the college basketball board because we got a couple options on the hardwood for tonight. Obviously, St. Peter's. I got -2. Looks like they're pretty much -2.5 everywhere right now. That's okay. Looks like Providence is down to +5.5. I love seeing that. And Dilgod, I cannot confirm that. We might have BTL on Monday and potentially early on next week. So stay posted for updates there. Okay. I like Cincinnati today against Dayton. Spread's moving the wrong direction, though, and Dayton's been a cash cow. But I do love that Cincy team. I just can't tell if I'm biased or not. But I think Cincy's the play there at home. I'd say those are my favorite CBB plays for today. Any plays you guys love? Looks like OG Sauer loves the Friars. I do too, but I think that could be has fake sharp potentials. Now, do I love seeing them down to +5.5? Yes, I do. And that's a system that I could get behind. But I feel like, St. John's laying a lot of points there on the roads. I know they've been playing well, but that's a lot of respect. If you can't tell, I certainly lean St. Peter's and probably even Cincy at this point more than that play. Why don't we put St. Peter's in here, the Peacocks, and see what happens? Let's put them in. They're up to 3 some places, but mainly -2.5. So we'll put them in here. St. Peter's, the Peacocks, -2.5. Okay. Let's see if we could find one more winner to throw their hat in the ring here. All right. It would be Tulane, but it's an early start. So might want to keep that one out. Love the Friars from OG. Yep. Must have missed. Yeah, it could be Cincy Gootsy. Is that kind of the vibe you're getting?
Yeah, I liked it last night. Still like it today.
Dilgod says he loves St. John's today. Okay.
They are
okay.
With 2 main wagons in our CBB pot. It was Bradley, it was a sleeper from you, and then Cincy from Jovan.
Yep.
So this could be the time we tap into the other wagon. We already got Bradley through the hoop.
Now, what are the odds on their ML? Because I haven't seen them down to -2.5, Gootsy. Are they playable in the ML?
If it was Jovan, he'd probably veto it because it's a little too juicy. But
yeah, -150 I'm seeing.
I got them locked in at -3. Let me check the ML.
Yeah, I'm seeing -150 at best. That's probably still a little too juicy, and I don't want to have you guys eat any more juice if your books are fucking you over. So why don't we go Cincy at -2.5? You in for that? Dead Larry Bird says UTEP's winning big. I got to take a peep at that game. Oh, they're playing 0-10 Jackson State, though. My sharp brain doesn't want to take that, although I respect the heck out of your angles, Dead Larry Bird. Shit. I don't know if I can put that in this. I feel like the gambling gods will smite me if I put that in here. It's just such a non-crabby play. Now I'm down to tail it, but I don't think we can put that in here. Okay, Peep Loyal and Marymount tonight, -7.5 against Southern. Yeah, I don't know if I like that enough to play either, to be honest with you, especially with Southern coming off a loss. So I think we'll go with Cincinnati. Good vibes. I know we got no Jovan today, but he's a Cincinnati slurper. So we'll go Cincy -2.5. 3 plays, 3 winners. Okay, we'll keep Indiana out of this out of respect for Goots. Goots, that should make you feel good because I like that play a lot. 3 plays, 3 winners. Sabres ML, St. Peter's -2.5, and Cincy -2.5. Okay, 3 plays, 3 winners. Hurry up, go, go, go. Get involved. Click the right button, please. You guys have done a great job clicking the right button of late. A great job clicking the right button of late. Okay, you guys are absolutely killing it. Please, let's not get fat, happy, and complacent on a Friday afternoon. Click the best sell job you heard today, the best play you heard today. Click the winner. All right, get involved. Cincy taking an early lead. I got no qualms with that. I don't think Goots does either. If anything, you might like it. Okay. Sabres blow Dick, Seaborn saying, and they just won by 10 and ended the streak. All right. Chat, 3 plays, 3 winners. Sabres ML on the ice. St. Peter's, the Peacocks -2.5, and the Cincy Bearcats -2.5. 2 CBB plays, 1 NHL play. Get involved. If you're asking yourself, where the heck is this poll? Why can't I find it? Well, you're probably watching on Twitter or YouTube, and that's fine. That's great. But now I need you to come over to the Twitch page at Bookit Sports so you can lock in your squad ride vote in the poll. Okay, you got 1 minute left. Get involved. Do not just sit there. Now is the time to partake and utilize your vote. This is a democracy. Every vote counts. Okay? Get involved. Change your life. 3 plays, 3 winners. Sabres, St. Peter's, and Cincy. Okay? Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys are making some coins. We've had a pretty good week so far in BTL. Let's stay hot. All right? Safe travels for Jovan. who's probably getting on a flight right now. Safe travels for Trent. Anybody else in the squad who's traveling today, make sure you get there safely, carefully. And anybody in chat going anywhere for the holidays, safe travels. Enjoy your time with family. Okay, don't take it for granted. Put the phones down every once in a while over the holidays. Okay, maybe at least just once. All right, guys. And TBD on BTL next week. I would love to run it early on the week and later on the week after Christmas. We'll keep you guys posted. We'll probably let you guys know on Sunday or Monday. Okay? Cincy. Sure, I got no qualms with that. Gootsy. Looks like the chat wants a little Bearcats action tonight. I guess we'll have to meet him at the cash counter.
Don't mind if we do.
Sure. Don't mind if we do. Cincy -2.5. Love to see it, guys. Have a great Christmas. I'm sure I'll talk to you before then, but have a great weekend. Go hang out with family. Go touch some grass this weekend, okay? That's your homework. And lock in some winners and tail the squad rats. All right? Go watch the coin toss. Go listen to the college football playoff pods from me and Jovan. And stay safe out there. Have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. We'll catch you guys same time, same place next week. We'll be.